if I had a colleague or someone in the trucking industry who constantly made gestures at me about the fact that I was a woman, I mean, I'm straight and I have no problem with gay people in general at all. I have no issue with them. But if I had someone constantly making gestures at me for being a woman, I'd stand up. And I would probably do the same as him. Now that he's done it, I would have been nervous for the first one. But I think it's fantastic he's done it.
And what about all the people who contacted us to say, you know, for goodness sake, any gestures, you know, everybody's got to just grow up. Look if someone's making a nasty gesture, make one back at them, or look the other way, or go to the other side of the street. You know, just don't take it too seriously. Don't be upset by it. Don't waste the court's time with it. Some people are suggesting.
Well, if we were wasting the court's time, the court wouldn't have seen it. The court would have thrown it out and gone, no, it's a waste of our time. They've actually taken it seriously. We're telling our kids as they grow up, if someone is bullying you, tell someone. If someone's upsetting you, tell someone. You're never taught to turn around and do it back to them, and you never, you know, my parents have to teach me to walk away. Now, I found walking away very, very hard, and it depressed me. So, if you've already been suffering depression, and then someone is adding on to it, constantly making gestures, thinking they're funny, and belittling you, then yes, you're going to go to your hierarchy. If the courts have taken it through and got you compensation, the courts have obviously decided that this was worth taking that far. If he's had it for 9-10 months and he's finally had enough of it, then why shouldn't he?
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you very much for your view. All right, coming up after this, we're going to be joining Terry Walton on the Jeremy Vine Show in London.
You watch me in my
The thing that surprised me more than anything else was it didn't really seem to make any difference whether you spent half an hour or half a day. You got the same kind of benefit to your well-being.
And the point here is not so much the physical well-being as the mental well-being, the mental equilibrium it seems to bring.
Yes, absolutely. That does seem to be the most important part of it. Yeah.
And we know because you have to be patient. That's one of the great characteristics of wild gardens, isn't it?
Yes, I think there is a difference between an allotment and a garden. Allotments tend to involve other people. There's much more of a sense of community around an allotment, whereas garden can be quite sort of solitary, really. But kind of implicit in what you said, it is true that it's probably not for absolutely everybody. You know, it's not everybody that wants to do that, but certainly for the people that do it, it makes a big difference.
And how did you conduct the study? Because I'm wondering how you compared the aggressiveness of somebody off an allotment with the aggressiveness of somebody on an allotment.
That was probably a bit easier than you might think. I mean, Marion, who did the work, actually collected all the data, she went round to a number of allotments that she knew around Manchester, in fact, and she kind of knocked people before and after they arrived at the allotments and went through our procedure of questions and so on and so forth. But then we went to supermarkets, in fact, in the same areas that the allotments were, and we asked people if they'd had an allotment or had a garden, and if they said no, we did exactly the same tests on them.
And was there any disparity between men and women, or between rich and poor, or posh and less posh?
It didn't seem, no, it was quite, the breadth of people that do allotmenteering is quite broad, actually, so we didn't particularly notice a difference there. There's a little bit of a difference between men and women, but typically there are fewer women that do allotmenteering, so I'm not really sure that the women were necessarily representative of, if you like, of women in general.
But we can state categorically that having an allotment of working...
Not a very good instructor letting her go like that.
Thank you very much for talking to us. Now, I don't think this is going to be much news to you, Terry Walton. Good afternoon, lovely to talk to you.
I disagree with one of the point. I think, I spend an average of 4 to 5 hours a day
and it makes my wife very stressed, but keeps me very, very calm.
Tell me what's going on in the allotment at the moment, Terry.
What's going on at the moment? I'm now going to dig some leaks. We still, it's late October. It's still extremely mild. It's more like it was in August, and it is for the coming into late autumn month. So the leaks really wanted some frost, but there's so many there. It'll be so great. I can't wait. So I'm going to dig a couple of these, dig one and get out. And so I'm going to dig these out. But what I do with these, when they're about 12 inches high, I slide a pipe which is about 2 inches diameter, a plastic pipe over them, and that branches 5 inches of the leak above ground, as well as the 4 inches below. So these are really will be nice, 9 inches of white shell. So we're going to put it together for you. Will we go on there, sir?
Yes, please do.
And here we go then. Right, that's the leak out. This is the pipe. That's the pipe coming in. So we're going to take a risky maneuver now. We have to swap them into it. Only 5 gallon drum of water to soften them. So be careful if I drop the phone, just hang on, okay? Right, so that's the pipe through the water. So now, one-handedly, I gotta slide this off. There we are. And here we are, a perfectly 9-inch long white leak with all these white fluffy roots at the bottom. Those are the ones I don't want to dig later, but we'll save that for the right show, shall we?
Yes, please. Let's talk about your pumpkins, because you have sent Jeremy a fine specimen, which I've had the pleasure of having a good old look at today. It looks amazing.
I hope you carved it ready for him, have you?
No, I think he should do that himself. Give himself a break from the dancing for 5
Well,
minutes.
yeah,
don't you?
I thought if I could use it for his Halloween set tomorrow night.
He might well, actually.
No carrot, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't be a bad idea at all. So tell us about pumpkins, because Halloween's tomorrow. Not much more time, really, for them.
No, I mean, what it is,
Pinky.
US military base 13 years ago after being detained in Afghanistan. He says he was doing charity work. Tom Simons is at Biggin Hill Airport.
The private jet which carried Shaka Armour from Guantanamo Bay landed just before 1 p.m. It's thought he will first be taken for a medical assessment. He returns to the UK a free man. He has a British wife, and a Downing Street spokesman said that he would not be detained. Shaka Armour has never been charged and has always denied involvement with terrorism. He's talked recently of abiding by a contract with the UK to obey the rules of living
Never seen
here,
that before.
including any security
Guarding
measures
you,
needed.
Yeah.
His lawyers say he intends to campaign on behalf of those he says have been tortured.
TalkTalk has said the amount of data accessed by hackers last week is significantly less than originally suspected. The company said fewer than 1.2 million customer email addresses, names and phone numbers were accessed, along with fewer than 21,000 bank account numbers and sort codes. The Greek Prime Minister said Europe
They're
should be
worried about
ashamed after more than
cyclists,
20
because it's a bit
migrants
wide
drowned
in the
last
middle,
week
isn't
in
it?
the sea. More than half of them were children. Alexis Tsipras said the Aegean was washing up not just dead children, but the very civilization. Turkish media say another 4 Georgians have died off the coast of Turkey on the boat carrying to Greece capsized. The Chancellor George Osborne has launched a new independent body to identify infrastructure projects in which the government should invest. Speaking of the Browning Museum, Mr. Osborne wanted to leave a legacy for the future.
I don't want the time when we built the greatest infrastructure in the world to be a footnote in the history books. That is what the National Infrastructure Commission is all about. It's a statement from our generation that says we are going to think the long term, we are going to plan for the future, we are going to lead the world.
The judge has said prison officials should reconsider whether transgender women serves her sentence. Tara Hudson has 26 years and doesn't want a retired adult life. He was sent to a male prison
The judge this morning said he has to continue her custodial sentence. We asked her mother about the reaction to that, Tara's mother, and she said she was shocked by that because of the torrent of abuse, as she called it, that Tara is currently getting in that male prison.
The court in Poland has rejected a request from the United States to extradite the film director Roman Polanski. He pleaded guilty in 1977 to one count of statutory rape for having sex with a 13-year-old girl during a photo shoot in Los Angeles, hours before he was to be sentenced to fake America. And that's the BBC News at 3 minutes past 2. The next at 3.
Thank you, Harvey. It's a great week. And Terry Walton there. All right, Vanessa. Fantastic character. He's real. Today, Friday, 30th of October, 2015, live till 5. It's a big show, Steve Ross.